Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Adam, and you're watching Unlimited Options Investing. In this video, I want to talk about Tom Lee, the renowned bull on Wall Street. He has a really big following online. He's really well known on CNBC. And in my last video, I talked about Josh Brown and what he said regarding a stock he really likes for 2022, which I'm going to link in my description below. And Tom Lee's pretty well known for his bullish bets over the past few years, and I mean, he's been pretty right on all of them as the market has just been trudging up ever since. Anyway, let's get right to it. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard and hit that subscribe button. Here at Unlimited Options Investing, we talk everything from stocks, crypto, options, ETFs, and we're investing for the long term. As always, smash that like button and let's get started.
Where should you be invested in the new year? We want to ask Fast Money friend Tom Lee. Tom is managing partner of Fundstrat and a CNBC contributor. Tom, great to have you back. 51,000 is your target. You think it may be conservative, and this is based on history stats that were pulled by your data guy at Fundstrat. What did you find?
Yes, our head of data science is tireless Ken. And he does work 24 hours. Maybe there's two of them. But what he looked at was two things. One is market performance after the S&P posts more than 27% gains, which is what happened last year. And the median return since 1938 is 16%. So that implies S&P 5600. And the second vector is midterm election years. And in years where the control is Democratic trifecta, which is what we have today, second half gains tend to be 16%. So I think we're in a year where we'll be constantly surprised by the market's resilience. The first half, I think, is quite tough, but I think that the full year is going to be very strong.
What does quite tough mean?
I think 2022 is probably the first year that the highest probability of a 10% correction. As you know, many kind of called for that last year, but we had pointed out that a drawdown that big wasn't historically supported. But I think this year there's a chance that we could rally to 55,000, in January, and then pull back towards something pretty ugly by the summer. But I don't think that that's should be viewed as a top. I think it's just going to feel gut wrenching.
Kind of agree with your outlook here, and 5100 from here is not a far cry, but if we do have that pretty sharp sell-off that you think comes at some point this year, then it's a good rally off the lows. Do you get concerned? You just heard our conversation about Apple at $3 trillion in market cap. Are some of these mega cap stocks becoming too big to fail? Are they too big of the components of the major indices here? And might we have a hiccup? Because there's been no hiccups in these names. And are they the ones that are going to lead us lower when we do have that correction?
Well, without question, S&P is becoming a tech index because of the weight. And, the best companies in America are basically technology, healthcare, and banks. I mean, that's really the three big sectors of the S&P. We think FAANG is going to be one of the outperformers in 2022 because the PE's derated last year. And so we think the chances of the FAANG stocks, including Meta and Apple, having PE contraction is low. So they're going to track earnings growth. So I think FAANG could be up 30% this year. And as you guys are using acronyms, I mean, our top three groups are, Bitcoin-related equities, energy stocks, and FAANG, which is beef.
Tom, you're always willing to play, and we always appreciate that. Tom Lee of Fundstrat with his beef trade. Tim, what do you think of beef?
So this video came out on January 3rd. I'm recording today on January 8th, and so far the market, especially tech, has sold off ever since this video. Bitcoin has also sold off, nearing 40,000. I think in this video it was just 46,000. So far that fear has come into the market, but are we at a point where we continue selling off even further, or do we recoup some of those losses first and then continue chopping sideways? So firstly, Bitcoin is now trading at $41,169, down 13.35% over the last 7 days. Ethereum at $3,073, down 17.95%. Solana down 21%. Cardano down 13.68%. XRP down 13%. All of this in the past week. I know he said Bitcoin, but if that sentiment does return into Bitcoin, then it will definitely trickle down to all the other altcoins as well. Looking at the NASDAQ over the last 5 trading days, so on January 3rd, on Monday, We opened up the new year for the first trading session at just under $400 for the QQQ, and we ended off on the week just short of $380 a share on QQQ. So it's really been a bloodbath for technology as of late. Taking a look at this ETF, the XLE, having all the big energy names, Chevron, ExxonMobil, and such on. Over the past 5 days, we look at this, it's up over 10% on the week. And not to mention, because I also think financials will also outperform potentially in 2022, that in the last 5 days we're also up 4.65%, while the rest of the market, except for energy and financials, were pretty shaky or red. If we take a look at Bitcoin on the charts, we had a trend line ever since the end of July that touched once, twice, 3 times, as well as this downtrend ever since the middle to the end of November. We kept touching that trend line and then selling off. And those two trend lines were going to meet up. And before compressing to the end of the trend lines, I decided I wanted to go down, finding some buying pressure around the $40,000 mark. We're also officially oversold on the RSI, and we also had buying pressure in these areas back in September of 2021, as well as resistance back in July of 2021, and as well as June of 2021. And it's not just Tom Lee who's bullish on Bitcoin, and he has been for years. It's Michael Saylor, Elon Musk, Cathie Wood, and so many people around the world are adopting crypto in mass. That's very hard not to be bullish. In the long term, I still can't wrap my head around all of crypto, but still it is an asset class that is growing very, very, very quickly. And taking a look at the FAANG index on the daily, we are below the 50. Traditionally, over the past year and a half, whenever we are below that 50, it tends to be a very good buy. Will this hold to be true right now, or are we going to see increased weakness? As Tom Lee said, we could face the first 10% correction that we haven't felt in a very, very long time. And looking at oil, we see the double bottom here from early December, as well as the end of December. We see the double bottom. Remember when oil felt like crazy? From $78 a barrel all the way down to about 61. Honestly, just buy the dip. It seems so obvious in hindsight, but at the time, everyone's just running around with their heads chopped off. That's just the market. It's hard in the moment to tame your emotions, but if you bought down then, I mean, it is a gamble because you are buying such a falling knife, but at the same time, this is not just any random commodity. This is US oil, again, with all the inflation we're seeing. It makes sense. And we're having a very nice steady breakout right now. And if we take a look at XLE, we see the same thing. We see the same thing with the ETF. It is just breaking out, just continuing to grind up higher. So of the 3 so far, Tom Lee has nailed energy. He did say it would be a tough first half for equity, so let's see how that one plays out for the rest of the year. And also because I think financials will do well, taking a look at that ETF, it also looks like it could be potentially breaking out as well. So we'll definitely be monitoring that on the channel as the upcoming weeks go on. But we see the previous high of about $40 in the ETF, and right now we're at about 41. Again, another potential double bottom from early December, mid-December, and then breaking out right now. All right, and that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Tom Lee's beef strategy? Are you investing in Bitcoin, energy, or the FAANG stocks? Let me know in the comments. As always, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.